Red. So this video is gonna be talking about the Red Party, the Republican Party, shit, whatever you want to fucking call it, the dumbass party. Um, but anyways, this kind of builds off of the last video where I talked about religion and how religion and conservatives are kind of tied together because they both have conservative beliefs, like the whole thing about traditional men and traditional women and having a traditional family. Um, a lot of the beliefs are linked, but not just that. It's like when you look at its core, both of their beliefs are stagnant. Like they don't want the world to progress or do anything different or um, live any different from the Bible or in the Republican Party's case, how they choose to live. I don't know all their fucking beliefs because I'm not in that party. But the reason why I have an issue with the Republican Party is because number one, the shit that they advocate for is not good. But on top of that, number two, it's like they completely veered off like political shit and then just went straight into like other stuff that has nothing to do with politics. Like there's so many Republicans that are like against gay marriage, which again, like how does that affect you or your family? They still don't like other programs like DEI that help marginalized groups get more job opportunities, fair opportunities like white people have. Um, and then, of course, like I said, they also have very traditional beliefs that kind of get like inspiration from the Bible, which again, not everybody wants to live a life like that. Like, not everybody is a part of a religion, not everybody lives their life like that. So, you can't try to force other people to live that same way because, again, I don't even think religion should be involved in anything political because, like I said, number one, if you can't even prove that religion is real, how are you going to base like your entire fucking country or the world as a whole off of things that you get from fake books? Like, come on, bro. That would be like somebody making a country and being like, okay, guys, we're gonna follow everything that they do in fucking Greek mythology. Like, that does not make any type of fucking sense. But unfortunately, that's what we do here. And then even when they're in the court and stuff like that, you have to like swear and take oath and all this type of stuff. And it's like, bro, like, why should you have to fucking do that? Like, I don't understand why people just make it seem like if you say, oh, I swear on the Bible or I swear on God or something like that, that it automatically just means you're not fucking lying. Like, I'm just gonna lie. But another thing that is a very big issue that pretty much affects us all, because I know a lot of the stuff that I just mentioned before, it might not affect everybody, but capitalism affects everybody, and most people are negatively affected by it because of the fact that all the people that are at the very top of the country are the ones with all the fucking money. Like you got I forgot who they just said, but they just made an article talking about we're about to have the first trillionaire. It's like, bro, what the fuck do you need all that money for? Like, even if you had, I don't know, let's say like $1 million, right? $1 million is more than enough money to live off of for the rest of your life and still set up your kids to have a good future, like going forward, because you don't need anything crazy when it comes to like buying a house. Like, you don't need a fucking $30 million house and $1 million car and all this other type of shit. Like, bro, even to get a real good like high end house, you could just pay for a house that's like 500,000, and then you would still have $500,000 after that to live off of. But now you got all these fucking millionaires and billionaires and whoever the fuck the trillionaire is. Like I said, I don't know who it was. I'd have to look back. But all these people, they have all the fucking money, while the rest of us are slaving away at these companies, making like money that is not even sustainable for life standards nowadays. Like nowadays, shit, you're getting paid minimum wage. Like I don't even know what the minimum wage across the country is, but out here in California, I think it was like around $16 or $17. And then if you work at a fast food place, it went up to 20. But it's like you got to think about it. Nowadays, that money is not enough to like get an apartment or get a car, pay for college. Like you got to think when you're, my age, because right now I'm 19, but if you're around my age and you're going on to new stages in life where you're probably going to school and work at the same fucking time, your ability to balance all these different things financially is like terrible, because you just don't have the fucking money to pay for it. It's like everything is too expensive. Like when it comes to apartments nowadays, you look at apartments and they're the fucking price of a house. So it's like instead of being able to move out of your parents' house and then get your own apartment for a while until you buy your own house, you have to just pretty much stay at home and then build all your money up until you have enough to actually just get a house outright. Like you can't even go from living with your parents to apartment to house. Like you have to go straight from living at home to buying a house. And I just don't see how the older generations don't understand that, because this is their fucking fault. Like a lot of the older generations are the ones that were a lot more conservative and shit like that. And I would hope that my generation is becoming more progressive. Like we have made a lot more progress in terms of like accepting other people for who they are and kind of incorporating other like marginalized groups of people into more fair opportunities. But like I said, there are still issues that people face, and there are still some areas that don't give fair opportunities to different groups of people that aren't just straight white men or straight white women. And it's hard out here. And then when you look at the jobs, like I don't know what's going on with these companies, man, but it's like nobody is hiring. They all say they're fucking hiring, but I went to so many different places and turned in resumes, applied online, called these places back, like so much stuff, and the job market is just fucking terrible. But the problem with that is because going back to the video I made about ephilism, I mentioned overpopulation, where we have billions of fucking people in this world and we don't have billions of jobs. Like there's not enough job spots for everybody to be able to work. And then like I said, the jobs that you do have pay shit. And then on top of that, now fucking Trump made it to where you could pretty much discriminate against certain employees. So if you see, because like I said, I just turned in my resume, but like if somebody has a resume and you look at their name and it looks kind of like weird, or it's not like a white name or something like that, you might be skeptical on hiring them. Or if you have an interview and then they see that they're not like the race that you're looking for to work for them, then they won't hire you that way. So it's like depending on what you are in terms of your race, your gender, all that type of stuff, they pretty much have the ability to discriminate. And then the fact that they removed the DEI stuff now makes it even harder again for people to get fair opportunities, because it's like we're working up to ground zero. Like, again, I don't really care if this seems racist or not, because it's the truth. But in this country, it's like white people are already above ground zero. It's like they have to, it's like they're already in a position to get anything they need. Like they're the default. I guess, if that makes sense. Like everybody everybody else has a much harder time to get fair opportunities compared to them, because it's like not only do you have to get the same like qualifications that they do. So say for instance you need like a degree to go work at a certain job, or a license or a certification or anything like that. Not only do you have to have that, you have to also like do extra shit to prove why you're good for the job. Like you have to completely change how you talk, because like I said, white people are the default in this country. So everything that they do is considered normal, and then whatever else everyone else does is considered like unprofessional or something like that. So say for instance you're black and you have certain types of hairstyles, they'll say it's unprofessional even though it's just their normal fucking hair. Then you might have somebody else that comes in that has an accent and they're just talking normally, but because you can't understand it, now they're not fit for the job because they can't communicate properly or something like that. But it's because, you know, like the way white people talk, that's the default language. So if anybody else doesn't talk like them, or doesn't have like basic hairstyles, then they're not qualified for the job, or they're deemed unprofessional and stuff like that. And that's just why I say that things in this country are not fair, um because like the opportunities that people are able to get is just not the same compared to white people. But to get back on track, the reason why I'm saying that is because when people vote for Republican candidates, again, going back to one of the last things that I said in the other video, instead of calling it conservatism, it's more like content. You are content with where things are right now. So you pretty much see no issues when it comes to the job market and people not being able to get jobs. And then the jobs that they do get pay fucking terrible. So you can't even be able to properly pay for your house and your car and your bills and groceries and shit like that. And then on top of that, you might not even be able to get a job because of the fact that there's programs being removed to help other people get jobs to the same extent that white people do. And then on top of the fact that that there's still other issues, like I said, that go on in the country, like racial issues and cops just going around fucking terrorizing civilians and shit like that. It's like you are basically saying that there are no issues in the country, or at least the issues that we do have are not big enough to where we need anything to change. Like you just want to keep everything how it is right now. And that's why I always say that the Republican Party as a whole has just been stupid to me, because the idea of just like stopping everything, like we don't need to progress anymore, we don't need to implement new things that help other groups of people get fair opportunities, like not better opportunities, because that's what so many white people love phrasing it as. They're like, oh, DEI is just giving you guys all of our spots and stuff like that. Like, no, it all it's doing is just dead ass making it fair. Like, this is how it is. Like, white people have always been right here, and then everybody else is like right here. But with DEI in place, it raises everybody else up to the same level right here. They think that it takes everybody else right here all the way up here, and that's not what DEI does. But um but that's just one of my biggest issues with the Republican Party. And then on top of that, a lot of them don't even know the fucking policies that Republicans advocate for, because I know a lot of people probably don't go on TikTok, but you'll see videos on there where somebody will interview a Republican and they'll ask them a question about like a policy, but it'll be a Democratic policy, and they'll be like, oh, I agree. And then when the person tells them like, oh, this was something that Biden said, or this was something that Obama said, then they're like, oh. And because I remember one of them, it was actually about Obamacare. Somebody, they were interviewing a Republican, and they phrased it differently, and they were like, would you want this in the country? And they were like, absolutely. And then when he was like, that's pretty much what Obamacare is, then they're like, oh, I don't agree. It's like, bro, you just fucking said that you agree with it, but now because it's from the opposite party, now you're like, oh, I don't agree anymore. It's like, that's the problem with them, because a lot of Republicans, to me, they're like children. They're like, how do I say it? It's like they just want to be right, I guess. Like, they're just so fucking stuck in their beliefs that even if you're right and you have the evidence to back it up, they're just gonna be like, oh no, I don't agree with that. I don't like it. And it's like, that's the problem, because they treat it as a game. That's the thing. So many people are not they're not affected negatively by all these different policies and stuff like that. And when I say people, I'm talking about white people, straight white men and straight white women. And they treat politics as like a game or a sport. Like, oh, we have to beat you guys. We have to vote fucking Donald Trump so that Kamala Harris doesn't get into office. Because, again, to them, this is not like shit that plays with their livelihood. But to us, the rest of us, like black people, gay people, trans people, broke people, nigga, to everybody else, this shit determines our fucking livelihood for the next few years. And like I said, we're only a few months in to Trump's like 4 years, his term, and this nigga's already fucking a bunch of shit up. Like, I'm nervous for the next few years, because like I said, if he's doing this much damage to the fucking country right now, like you see all these videos about ICE terrorizing people and doing all this other bullshit and whatnot, and then the fact that, like I said, a lot of people can't get jobs, they can't pay for shit that they need, not shit that they want, like, oh, I want to go buy a new car, or I want to go travel here or anything. Like, I'm talking about people are struggling right now to pay bills, to pay for their car, like shit that they fucking need. It's like everything is too expensive here. Everything is also too hard to obtain when it comes to other things. And then you also have, like I said, the people in the positions of power that are just fucking terrorizing or exploiting everybody. Like I said, going back to the people with all the money, like the billionaires, trillionaires, and that are just fucking sitting on their ass making all their money, while everybody else is working at those companies making fucking minimum wage and shit. So like I said, bro, as much as religious people don't want to agree with it, they are also part of the problem, because whether you're a religious Democrat or whatever the case may be, you still have conservative beliefs, or at least beliefs that prevent us from moving forward. Like, I don't know, man. I feel like as a whole, in order for this country to get better, we need to be able to make it to where everybody has fair opportunities. And even aside from that, we also need to make it to where it's much easier to pay for shit. Like, the prices for everything is going up, but the money that you're getting paid is not going up. That's the issue. Like, so many people from older generations, they always say, oh, people from younger generations now are just so lazy and they don't want to do this and that. And that's the fucking problem right there. They don't listen because they just want to be right. They want to be right all the fucking time, but they don't look at the big issues, right? Because like I said in one of my other videos, my generation probably won't even have a retirement age. We probably won't even be able to retire. Like, the retirement age has already been getting higher and higher. Like, I remember my grandparents, they worked for a long time. They were correctional officers, but they retired in like their mid 50s, I want to say, like early to mid 50s. But now my parents likely won't be able to retire until they're in like their late or early 60s. Not late 60s, late 50s or early 60s. But for us, shit, our retirement age might be like over fucking 75. But how many people live that long, you know? Like, I don't understand. But not only that, it's like the older generations also don't understand that shit is not as easy as it was back then. Like back then, you could work a minimum wage job and still buy a nice house, a nice car, pay for all the other shit that you need, and live a comfortable life. Nowadays, minimum wage is not enough to do anything. Like that's the entire point of minimum wage, if I'm not mistaken, is to literally live live comfortably, but like at the lowest extent, you know, like you're able to, at the very least, at the bare minimum, pay for your house, your car, your bills, stuff like that. But nowadays with minimum wage, it's like the purpose is completely taken away, because minimum wage cannot pay for houses nowadays. It can't pay for cars. It can't pay for college or anything like that. It's just everything is too expensive, and capitalism is ruining the fucking country. Like everybody always says, oh, everyone should be able to have the ability to own their own businesses and make their own money and stuff like that. And again, that would be fine, but then you have people that take it way too fucking far, like these billionaires, where they make so much money and then they also want to be cheap. So it's like they make a bunch of money and then they try to lower the pay for their workers so that they can put more money into the business to fund it. And then nowadays it's even worse, because with a lot of these companies, they are able to completely get rid of workers as a whole and then just implement AI. So now they're going to be getting even more fucking money, because the AI is going to be able to produce at the same level, if not even better level than humans. And then they're going to get more production, which gets them more money, all while they're already going to get more money from not having to pay all these extra workers that they would have had in these spots. So like I said, I just feel like things are going to get worse. And I feel like in the future, it's going to get to the point where, like, if this shit doesn't stop and it gets worse, I feel like it's going to get to the point where pretty soon there's going to be like an AI that could do everything, like not just the computer work, but like actual robots walking around and fucking like shit. You already have self-driving cars, and there's been a few videos online where you got robots running up and down the street and shit. So I mean, we're already fucking close, but pretty soon we're gonna have like robots doing everything, to the point that everyone else is gonna be having to look for jobs in weird spots, you know, like super far removed from anything AI related. So I don't know, man. I feel like capitalism, that's the problem, because you always have a few people that just take it too fucking far, and then they want to exploit the system so that they can just make all the money in the world. And like I said, I don't even know why you would need that fucking much money. Like, what are you going to do with $1 trillion? What are you going to do with $1 billion? What are you going to do with hundreds of millions of dollars? Like, I don't understand, bro. I don't understand why they need this much fucking money. And to be honest, bro, I'm like so far left at this point that, like, if you were to think of the Democratic Party as an ocean, and the deeper you go, the bluer it gets, I'm like so far at the fucking bottom that I'm at the black part of the ocean. Like, I'm not even a part of the Democratic Party anymore. I want this shit blown up. Like, I don't want the Republican Party to be in charge. I don't want the Democratic Party to be in charge. I want an entirely new system. Like, I would say I actually feel more lenient towards communism. And you know, that word, it always scares a lot of people because they immediately think like, oh, Russia. But it's like, bro, when you look at communism, like, you just take a step back and look at it for what it is. Like, the fact that everybody could be equal and you distribute resources accordingly and stuff like that, so everybody stays afloat, I wouldn't mind that. Like, even if it means that we wouldn't be able to live well above our means like how we are in America right now, I would much rather everybody be equal than like a handful of people to just stand above the rest of us and fuck us over and pretty much just like make the experience terrible for all of us in the US. Like, I feel like that's the problem. It's like you have just a handful of companies that own everything and they pay their workers like shit. And it's just like nobody can, they're trying to make it to where nobody else can get to their level. You know, they have to be at the top so they can still make their money. They don't want any type of competition. They're buying everybody out. And that's the problem because, like I said, when you have people that take it too far and they just start buying other competitors out and they get cheap when it comes to paying their workers and sometimes even trying to remove their workers so that they can put in new stuff so they can make even more money. It's like it just fucking ruins it for the rest of us. I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like I'm tired of this two-party system. I'm tired of Republicans, most importantly. But like I said, even though I feel like a lot more of my beliefs would align with the Democratic Party, I still don't even consider that the party I would advocate for. Like, I want a completely new system. I want a system that treats everybody equally. Everybody equally. I want a system that doesn't care about what race you are, what gender you are, none of that shit. Like, as long as you are able to fucking do what you need to do, you get a fair opportunity at whatever it is. That's how it should be. You shouldn't have to worry about, you know, like if you can get a job because your name sounds like, I don't know, like whatever the case may be. Like, my name is Stefan, but you know, other people might pick another candidate whose name is like John or something like that, like something basic because they think it's like a white name, so they're probably thinking it's a white person, and then they won't give me an opportunity because of my name. Or like I said, how some people won't give you an opportunity because of your accent or your gender or something like that. Like, you shouldn't have to worry about shit like that. Like, if you're qualified for whatever you're trying to do, you should be able to do it just like a white person is able to do. And again, I'm not saying that all white people are advocating for this shit or all white people are Republicans or all white people are Christians. But I am saying that because you were born white, you were kind of born with an advantage, because as much as you don't think that advantage is there, I promise you, you have a lot more lenience and a lot more opportunities than the rest of us. Because as long as you have those connections, you have a fucking job, you have an opportunity, you have a gateway, you have all that type of shit. But everybody else does not have that. Everybody else does not fucking have it. So, like I said, bro, the Red Party is a lot with what's wrong in this country. It's setting us back. All these fucking stagnant mindsets is exactly the fucking problem. Like, we need a lot more people that are open-minded. And in my opinion, that sums up Republicans as a whole. They are not fucking open-minded. If you don't agree with them, they don't want to hear shit you have to say, bro. That is the end of the fucking conversation with them. So, that was pretty much all I had to say. I guess the next video, I could talk more about the imbalances of like white people and everybody else in the country. And again, this is not meant to be racist, so I don't want white people saying like, oh, you're just racist or you're just lazy or this and that. Because again, white privilege very much does exist. It may not exist to the extent that it did back then, where, you know, like if you were anything but white, you were just outright turned away or something like that. but it is still prevalent enough to where a lot of us still face issues. And again, it's not just with job opportunities or anything like that. It's also with, law enforcement and stuff like that. So I will get into those things as well in the next video. I uploaded 2 NFL reaction videos earlier though today, just to kind of switch it up. I don't want everybody coming on my page thinking that this is just a fucking sad ass page. I just wanted to switch it up, make different videos because I like football. Unfortunately, I didn't make any other videos though because my team is the Raiders and we never fucking do shit. So, I will make more reaction videos on the fucking NFL playoffs though. A little bit more happy videos, and I'm trying to make gaming videos as well. Like, I have some gaming videos on the channel already, but a lot of them were when I was recording on my PlayStation, so the quality on them is dog shit. I know the Last of Us series, that shit was all like fucked up because for some reason, like the storage on my PlayStation, it was like messing up. So I had to switch over to my phone. So I'm trying to like figure out how to like play while I'm still recording on the monitor instead of like recording off the PlayStation. And then I'm finishing up Elden Ring right now, and then I was thinking about playing the Dark Souls trilogy because I think the creator is the same one, and I heard a lot of people saying that those games were kind of the same, so I might check those games out. But yeah, I just wanted to say that because I don't want nobody coming on this page thinking that it's just supposed to be super sad and shit like that, or boring. But yeah, that was pretty much it.